Many events can be described in terms of other events. For example, the speeding car is blue is actually two events. A car is speeding, and the car is blue. A simple event is an event that cannot be broken down further. Otherwise, we have a compound event. So let's try to identify as a simple or compound event, and if a compound event, identify the simple events. A person failed the course because they failed the exam. This is a compound event. It includes the simple events. A person failed the course. A person failed the final exam. We can combine simple or compound events A and B in several different ways. We can talk about the conjunction A and B, or we could talk about the disjunction A or B. The conjunction A and B is an event which will occur only if both A and B occur. For example, if A is the event you get an A, P is the event you pass the class, and F is you fail the class, then the compound event A and P occurs if you get an A and pass the class. If you get a C, you still pass, but since A did not occur, then the conjunction A and P did not occur. The disjunction A or B is an event which occurs if either A occurs or B occurs. So again, using our three events, then A or P occurs if you get an A or pass the class. So if you get a B, which is a passing grade, A or P occurs, and if you get an A, then A or P also occurs. Disjunctions are usually easy to identify. You could go to the beach or go to the mountains. You could get an A or you could fail. You could win the lottery or go into a career. Conjunctions are much harder to identify. You can have cake and ice cream. You can have your cake, but you can't eat it. You can graduate in 4 years. The challenge with conjunctions is that the English language and other languages combine requirements. So you can have your cake, but you can't eat it consists of two simple events. You can have your cake. You can't eat it. In the situation described by the sentence, both occur, and so this is a conjunction. Or you can take something like you can graduate in 4 years. You can graduate. It will take 4 years. And again, in this case, both occur, so this is a conjunction. When considering compound events, punctuation is critical. Including, excluding, or moving a comma can completely alter the meaning of a sentence. For example, consider the event, you had cake and ice cream, or pie. Because of the placement of the comma, cake and ice cream are one clause, pie is another, and the or makes this a disjunction. So remember, if a disjunction occurs, then at least one of its component events occurs. So one of three things happened. You had cake and ice cream, you had pie, or you had both cake and ice cream and also pie. Meanwhile, let's consider a slightly different sentence. You had cake, comma, and ice cream or pie. Because of the placement of the comma, cake is one clause, ice cream or pie is the other, and the and makes this a conjunction. So if a conjunction occurs, all component events must occur. So we know that you had cake and also you had ice cream or pie.